Welcome back. Today we're going to work with a simple color random color generator. As you can see here, some many hexadecimal values or simple values. This is going to be the first part because the other parts you can see on the navigation we have a complex version of that, which is slightly different, but that will be part of another video. And another reminder here that I'm learned from my previous videos is that I'm not going to focus on the HTML or CSS unless it's necessary to talk about it. We will focus right away with the JavaScript. And you can find this code on my GitHub repository. I will leave the link on the description below. Without further ado, I am NeoDev. Let's go together and let's get started. Alright guys, let's jump into our VS Code. And it's completely empty, of course. Remember the tutorial that I will only focus with the JavaScript. Therefore, we need to go inside of my code repo, my GitHub repo. So you go with the simple, then simple HTML and CSS. I got my simple HTML, so just going to grab it and right away paste it inside of the HTML page. Now my CSS should do the same, so going to grab everything, going to copy and paste it inside of my CSS code. Now let's hit go live server. This should open a new tab inside of our browser. So let's go with simple, and there you go. We have our template there. We don't need this anymore, so I'm going to get rid of that. And then after that, we can start working with our JavaScript. But before I do that, of course, I need this link to work. So inside of complex.html, we need to inject a template. I already have it here, so going to paste. So inside of the head tag, I apply some styles. For the body, background color to be dark, and the text color should be white, but for the anchor tag should be blue, or light blue. I have a simple h1 and an anchor tag in order to be able to take us back to the main page, as you can see. Okay, now without further ado, let's get started with the JavaScript. So what do we need to do exactly first? Well, DOM manipulation. We need 3 elements to start with. The container, the result, the span with the class of color, and now my btn simple. So right away, paste. So document that query selector. You already know that how that works. Then we need to apply a listener for that button, of course, and in this case it's going to be click. And right away, I will create a variable called let new background color, new bg, and this is going to be equals to rand element, because that is a function that I will create next. And then I need to pass an array that I'm going to call simple colors. Let me grab this, copy and paste, and let me remove this. Okay, those simple colors doesn't exist yet, but I will just paste it because I have it right here. I don't want to hard code that array. And okay, that array represents my simple colors. Once that I have that, I need to show that on, or to display that inside of my screen. Therefore, I will say container that style that background, if I can spell, color using camel case to be the new bg. But not only that, we need to display that inside of our result span with the class of color. So right away, result that inner text should be equals to new bg. Why? Because this is an array, this is an string type, so inner text, this is a string, and that should do it. Next, of course, we need to create that function. So rand element, this is taking an array. And how can we get a random element from an array? Well, we need to use the math that random function, but times, times the array that length, you know, to give you the min and maximum values for that. But here I need to the integer, so I need to apply then math that floor, and to grab this inside of this function. And then this I'm going to store in a variable called random index. This is giving me the random index. Next, for this function, I'm going to return right away the element. So array, again, square brace notation in order to get access to any element of an array. And then of course my random index. Random index. So after that, I think that should be working by now. and there you go. Ta-da! Okay, now for the hexadecimal values. Okay, hexadecimal colors are composed by the combination of 9 digits, number 0 until number 9, and then the Latin alphabet from letter A until letter F. Therefore, we will have an array with those elements. So here I will create it. Call it X, 0 from 9 and then 8 until F. Then I need to apply DOM manipulation. I need to grab that button, which is this button, btn-x. So DOM manipulation, and we're going to follow pretty much the same idea. So btn-x that add listener and click event. My callback function right here is going to apply the same. So first, remember, hexadecimal colors start with a hash symbol, and I will store that hash symbol in a variable called hash, and this will be a string. Okay, remember that. Next, the golden trick here is that we are going to use a for loop. So I will say for, I start from 1, and this stays the same, but until 6, because remember, hexadecimal values has only 6 digits or characters in this case. And the trick here is we just need to do concatenation. I mean, hash is already a string, so we will say hash equals to the initial value of hash plus or concatenating something. After we have the complete value of our hash, we can apply the same logic as we did above. So instead of new bg, we're just going to send the hash value, which is already string. And how can we get that? Well, we are going to use just that function that we just created. So we will say, let me grab it right away, and we need to send an array, which in this case is going to be the X array. So by this point, I will believe that that should do it. So if we click, there you go. Alright guys, that's it for the first part. Please stay tuned for the other one because it's going to be a surprise. This is a surprise. This is a switch color converter. I mean, I have an hexadecimal value and I can convert it into an RGB format. Furthermore, if I click on the switch, you will see that this value will be displayed in this input, and this value, this H4, which causes an H4, will be displayed in this result section. I mean, there we go. You see? Now if I try to change it, it's not going to work because RGB only allows numbers. And I have a pop-up on an alert over there, and you can restart everything. So 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 just for testing purposes, and there you go. So I'll keep you on the loop guys in order to complete that video. So if you find this video useful in any way, this first one, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more. I see you on the second part.